Good morning, everyone. It's your baby boomer, Kitty Lane, from the Peninsula in Virginia. Welcome to Create and Relate. First of all, I'd like to welcome and thank all of my subscribers. Keep watching. I'd also like to, at this point, literally continue to beg for subscribers, likes, and definitely comments. All of it goes into the algorithm, and it helps. It helps tremendously. As I am on my journey to become monetized, because I know that that would help me feel like a productive member of society. I'm one of those people, I like to pull my weight. I am about to start restructuring my channel, in which I will be more crochet and topic based, which is what I wanted to do when I started, and I kind of ventured off into just talking. I want to see what it's like to have a system. So this morning I'm telling you what I have planned, and I'd appreciate it if you let me know if you like it or not. Please hit that like button. I want a thumbs up. I want a lot of thumbs up. I want you to invite people in, share it, subscribe to my channel, please, and please leave comments. Anything that you see that I can do to better myself, please. I remember Tina kind of helped me a lot get things out there, and that is Crochet by The Rose. I will be dropping her name in the description box. And Drea told me to put it out there, get it out there. She was the one who convinced me to do lives. I didn't think I was ready, and I wasn't planning on doing one until my birthday, but I realized if I didn't get my feet wet, then I wouldn't be able to swim. So this is what we have planned. I am going more into structure. So what will be happening is we will have Setup Sunday, and basically that's going to be laying out my goals for the week, weekly reminders about other things that I may have going on that I want you guys to be involved in, like the donations for G.R.O.W, topic reviews, what I plan to talk about for the week. It's going to basically be probably the shorter video of the week, as I'm not really going into anything. I'm just basically laying things out. Then we're going to have Mark It Off Monday. And from the list I provide on Sunday, that's going to be the beginning of me marking things off. I know that the list will sound like it's pretty extensive on Sunday, but I have so much faith in me. I believe in me. As I told you, I am a Tinkerbell fan. She says dream big and believe, and that's what I do. So I know that I will have some finished objects and some whips to show you on Mondays, and that's Mark It Off Monday. On Tuesday, it's going to be Talk About It Tuesday. It's going to be more of a crochet with me day, and we'll be talking about whatever the topic is for that day. So of course it will be a whip. Probably be one of the bigger projects that I'm working on. Maybe a series of small projects, who knows. We'll see which way the wind blows. Then we're going to have the Walking Way Wednesday. I am on my journey to try to increase my steps. So far, I am able to make it through about 3/4 of making a cup of coffee without the pain starting. So I'm trying to, I know at one point it was go up, take my cup out, take my pot out, and pop the pod in the Keurig, sit the cup under, and come back and sit down. Then I would get up, start the Keurig, pour my creamer in the pot, put my pot on the stove, because I like hot coffee. And then by that point I was leaning on something or babying my back. But I said all of that to say that I was doing things in miniature steps. This morning I went in, I pulled out my cup of coffee, I put some dishes in the dish strainer away, I poured my creamer, had my coffee started. I kind of boost my coffee because I do 12 ounces of coffee instead of the 8 ounces. So by the time I was ready to run it what I do is 8 ounces first and then the 4 ounces. And I'll start heating my creamer when I press the 4 ounces. That way it's all done at the same time. I was able to pour the creamer in the cup and put my dishes in the sink, and by then I was kind of babying my back. So, yeah. Okay. Then we're going to have This Is It Thursday. I'll be showing more finished objects and more whips. And we'll be talking about, what did I write here? What's left? What do I have left to do for the week? Then we're going to have Freak Out Friday. I'm pretty sure with the kind of list that I make, there will probably be a lot left on the list. So at that point, I'm in panic mode. I gotta go. I gotta make this happen. That too will probably be a kind of short video. And on Saturday, we'll come back with Sit Back Saturday. That's when we'll be finishing everything up and recapping our week. And keep in mind that each day except Sunday will have a specific topic. So I am going to plan out my topics and talk based on those topics. I'm looking forward to getting this done. I have assigned time to each one of these days, and I just basically want to see how it works. Here, for instance, I have my Sunday all mapped out. On this page I have Monday and Wednesday, Tuesday and Thursday. I have not done Friday and Saturday yet, but I fell asleep while I was doing it, so I'll finish that up this morning. I know that this is only Tuesday. I have a lot to do the rest of this week so that I can be set up for next week, because I already know what I want to start working on Sunday. I already have the list of things that I want to accomplish for that week. So I'm expecting a Temu package between today and the end of the week. So hopefully we'll have a yarn haul to show you. I'm actually expecting 3 packages from Temu. It was 2 orders, but for some reason they had to split one up. Who knows? But when they come in, you know that I will be sharing. Forgive me for sounding froggy and whatnot. I not too long ago woke up. And this is one of the reasons I want to get the videos out like I do, because I know a lot of us creators spend the first part of our morning kind of setting up for our day. And I want you to see what I have going on for the week. And, you know, not have to wait until so late at night or so late in the evening or the wee hours of the morning for this to come through. So that means that I'm going to be working on planning the time for these videos. I'm actually going to schedule times for them. I'm learning, y'all. I want to go back for a moment and talk a little bit to you about where I live. I live in a section of Virginia called Hampton Roads. Hampton Roads consist of 7 cities, and it's separated into 2 areas. You have South Side Hampton Roads and the Peninsula. The Peninsula is on the northern end of the 7 cities. The 5 lower cities are Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Portsmouth, and Suffolk. Suffolk being the largest city in Virginia, I think basically due to landmass. Suffolk is growing tremendously at a rapid rate. Comparatively, there's not a lot of crime in Suffolk, more towards the inner city than the outer layers. The outer layers of Suffolk are more agricultural, and there's a lot of farming, a lot of land. They grow a lot of peanuts, a lot of cotton, a lot of corn. I had to mention peanuts first because Suffolk is the peanut capital. Planters, hey, it's right in the heart of Suffolk, the inner city, that is. Suffolk, years ago, when I was in high school, there were, in Suffolk, if I'm not mistaken, 4 high schools. I went to Forest Glen, where my mom taught. My mom previously taught at John F. Kennedy. After she left Forest Glen, she went to John Yates, and there was also Suffolk High. Those were the high schools that weren't private. Of course, you had like Suffolk Academy, Nansemond Academy. There were other high schools there as well that were private schools. Each high school seemed to have a different type theme. The high school that was considered the meanest, the baddest, was John F. Kennedy. You don't want to mess with people from John F. Kennedy. Trying to run hard with them was Suffolk High. But Suffolk High had more what's the word I'm looking for? They were more adult oriented, I would say. A lot of really strong athletes. And I'm not meaning strength only. I meant, athlete minded, athletic concepts came out of Suffolk High. John Yates was just kind of trying to fit in, bless their hearts. They were like close to the city, and at the beginning of the farmlands, they were just kind of, here we are, and we were forced. Forest Glen, which is where I went, whether we spoke it out loud or not, they were more of a faith-oriented school. It was nothing to be having a problem and go to talk to somebody, and one of the first things out of their mouth was, let's pray. You had a lot of really, really good, wholesome people at Forest Glen. When they rezoned, I want to say it was in probably 79, the school year 79-80. We got a massive amount of students from John F. Kennedy. By this time, they had shut Suffolk High down. And no, this was the year they shut Suffolk High down. This was junior year. And I remember my best friend was at Suffolk High, so she came to my prom. But everybody was, I think a lot of the people that came from Kennedy came with the intentions of thinking they were going to make Forest Glen what John F. Kennedy was. But our faith held strong. And we kind of broke them into, hey, you're not the baddest. Just strive to be the best. Okay? That's all we want from you. I enjoyed my high school years. But erasing all of that and continuing to talk about the other cities, because I could talk forever about Suffolk. It was the one place that reminded me so much of home back in Wilson, North Carolina. Let's go now to Portsmouth, which is where I lived before I moved here about 4.5 years ago. Portsmouth is always considered to be the worst city anywhere. Not true. Portsmouth is the smallest of the 7 cities. Of course, anything that happens in a small city is considered, So, if you have a crime, which crime is everywhere, and I'm not downplaying that, not at all. But if you have a crime, of course, it's going to seem bigger in a smaller city than it is in a larger city. I have not looked up the statistics lately, but the last statistics I looked at, the amount of hard crimes compared to softer crimes seemed pretty high per capita in Portsmouth, because let's look at this. We're going to keep it simple. Let's say in Portsmouth you have 10 people. Then we move to Norfolk, which has 75 people. Then we move to Chesapeake. No, let's go to Virginia Beach. Then we move to Virginia Beach, who has 100 people. Then we move to Chesapeake, who has 200 people. Okay? And then Suffolk, of course. Suffolk, okay. Let's say Suffolk had 201 because it's so massive. If one crime happened in Portsmouth, everybody knows about it. Everybody talks about it. It makes big news in Portsmouth, which spreads out to the surrounding areas. If Norfolk, having 75 people, had one crime, it's kind of like, okay, this happened. It's bound to happen. And let's move that one crime over to Virginia Beach. It's kind of like, meh. Now let's move it to Chesapeake, which is like, what? What crime? Where? And then of Suffolk, it's like, you hear the crickets? So, based on that, yes, it does seem like the highest crime area in this area, or the highest crime city in this area. And that's just using one crime. So you can imagine if it's 4. It's the same result. Okay, now these are, from what I saw and living in that area, the highest crime area was Virginia Beach. It's the tourist area. It's crazy. You want to go to the beach, but you don't want to be there at a certain time. Then the laws that they had down there got more people. The laws in Virginia Beach are crazy. You get fined for spitting. You get fined for driving around the same block twice. If you think I'm lying, look it up. You know, they call it cruising. You know, so if you're looking for a parking space, you'd better just go ahead on and set your mind to the fact that you're going to have to park in a parking garage and just go to the parking garage. Oh, well, good luck finding one that's not full. Which is one of the reasons I stopped going to the beach during the daytime so much. I would wait until late in the evening. After Virginia Beach, I would have to say Norfolk. Norfolk doesn't provide too many rural areas. So everything is like inner city to Norfolk. Norfolk is also the home of Norfolk State University and Old Dominion. I left them out in the last time I talked about the colleges here. But there's a lot of crime around downtown Norfolk, a lot of crime around Hampton City, a lot of crime around Old Dominion University. You also have the naval base there, and the what did they call it, the joint services. I can't remember the name of it right off, but it's a lot of military action there as well. So yeah, crime was pretty high. Then throwing into it, in my opinion, Portsmouth came after that, which doesn't really make it great, you know, but it wasn't the worst. And besides, most of the crime that happened in Portsmouth happened by or was caused by someone from the outside. As I told you before, I have 3 living children, 3 adult children, but I raised 35. One lost his life from a Norfolk man over a cigarette. But it happened in Portsmouth. What it sound like to you? So after that, I would have to say Chesapeake. Chesapeake has weird crimes. They have weird crimes. I was looking at a crime show here recently where they were talking about a missing woman from Morocco who lived in Chesapeake, and unfortunately she's still missing. And there was another one. Oh, no. The one from Chesapeake is still missing. The woman from Morocco, they found the person who caused her demise. And then there was, I used to work at a hotel in Chesapeake, and just about every night I got off work, I would drive up the street around the corner to Walmart. Shortly after I was told to stop working, one of the employees kind of snapped and fatally harmed, I think it was 7 people that worked at Walmart. And due to the fact that I used to go in there every night, when they started showing pictures of these people, it kind of hit home because I was in there just about every night. So all of these faces I knew, you know, including the person that did it. I knew these people. I would have conversations with these people. You know, I used to use my Walmart time as winding down from work. So when I got home, I would be pretty much ready for bed. But yeah, it was those are, yeah. But going back to Virginia Beach, even while I was working at the hotel, they had another incident like that. that happen down around the municipal building. I'm trying to make sure I don't use the wrong words here. So I'm really, grabbing at stuff here. But yeah, that was crazy. But now we moved to Suffolk, which is more farmland. Well, not now. It's probably about 55-45 as far as living area as compared to farmland. The farmland is being bought up and houses thrown up daily. It's crazy. But moving on to the peninsula. The peninsula has the last two cities, Newport News and Hampton. Of the two cities, Hampton is probably the safer. Newport News crime rate is off the scales. Hands down, it beats Portsmouth, Virginia Beach, and Norfolk combined. It's like when you're driving through the cities kind of interlace, but it's almost like as you drive through the cities, if you're on a main stretch, you almost know without being told or without knowing the area. Newport News from Hampton, from Newport News from Hampton. It's almost like a glove as you ride down Jefferson. Is it Jefferson Street, Jefferson Boulevard? I don't know, but as you ride down Jefferson, that's all we ever say is Jefferson. And the cities interlock. Like I said, you can almost tell by the buildings alone whether it's Newport News or Hampton. And that's crazy because in the 7 cities, they have a main road called Military Highway. Military Highway goes through 4 of the 5 cities. It starts with Chesapeake and goes to Norfolk, back to Chesapeake, then Virginia Beach, then Norfolk, Chesapeake, and then Virginia Beach. Have fun keeping up with that. But you can't really tell the difference as you ride through these cities. It's like it's either trees or stores. Trees or stores. Riding down Jefferson, you have businesses which look more like, and I'm putting it out here, ghetto McDonald's, ghetto churches, a lot of mom and pop stores crammed close to each other. And then when you get to Hampton, it's like apartment complexes, stores with decent looking parking lots. Going back through Newport News, it's like empty parking lots. And stores that look like they haven't cleaned their windows in years. You know, they have all kinds of signs and everything just covering up these stores. And then you get back to Hampton, where it looks like they have a parking lot blower that goes through every night. You know, and strategically placed advertisements. And yeah, that's pretty much how Jefferson is. But like I said, I live in Hampton. I live in Hampton where I pray every day I go out and meet people who work in these stores and things that I have to encounter. For the most part, probably about 75% of the people I meet that work in these places, I wish I could be back in Portsmouth. They had work ethic there. If you encountered somebody who had an attitude, you generally saw why they had an attitude, because they had to deal with somebody who was, you know, or they would tell you straight off the bat, I'm sorry, I'm having a bad day. I know that I'm usually this way, yada, yada, yada. But here in Hampton, it's like for no reason. You can walk up to the register and be the only person in the store, and it's like, this is all. Case in point, there's one lady over at Walmart. Because I have to ride my scooter over there, I like as few bags as possible. I don't mind if you pack the bags. Please don't double or triple the bags. I have enough bags at home. I can start a store with the bags. I don't want to take the 3 bags that I have to have. I went over yesterday. I got bread, cookies for the kids, and 3 different types of juices, 2 Hawaiian punch and 1 grapefruit juice. I said to her, ma'am, I don't need but 1 bag. Please don't put my drinks in a bag. By the time she rung everything up, I had cookies in a bag by themselves. I had bread in a bag by itself. The Hawaiian punch, the grapefruit juice was in the bag, and then she set the others up top. So when I got down to the bag carousel, I just politely took my grapefruit juice out of the bag, put them with the other 2 juices on the floor of my scooter, took the bread out of the bag. She was like, I thought you wanted 1 item in the bag. Lady, you're not listening. I only want 1 bag. Please don't put the drinks in the bag. Even though I didn't say that to her, I really wanted to, but I didn't. You know, I was like, no, I just wanted 1 bag. She was like, you're always so difficult. Lady, that would have made your job so much easier. Slide the cookies in the bag, put the bread down beside it, put it on top of the carousel, and as you ring each drink, sit it on top of the carousel. You don't have to worry about ripping this bag off the other, starting another bag, nothing. But I'm difficult. Okay. Wow, thank you. And you have a wonderful day. So that's just one example. When I go to Joann's, I look for certain people. I have literally been over to Joann's and like on the last coupon day, and people that I just, my energy doesn't match with theirs, I won't go. I'll miss that sale. I will not go. They have 2 ladies in there that are so nasty. They, oh my goodness. When I was driving, I went in one day, and I've also told you I take fluid pills. So as I'm driving, I go in one day and I ask them, can I please use your restroom before I do my shopping? We don't have a public restroom. Okay, thank you. So I get in my truck, drive back across the street from home and use the restroom. When I go back, another lady comes in. We look very different. And she's like, do you have a restroom? She looked to be probably in her 30s. Same lady says to her, sure, go straight to the back. So I did my shopping. This lady comes up to the register behind me, and she's asking another question. She has a couple of items in her hand, and she was asking questions about fabric. The lady stopped ringing me up and went over to assist her with the fabric instead of calling one of the other 3 associates in the store. I stood there. I hadn't swiped my card or anything. She comes back. The lady's still over at the fabric table, and she's like, ma'am, can I bother you one more time? This time when she walked off, I left everything on the counter and I left. I did. I passed fed up at that point. But I can't say here lately, the people over there have been great. One of One of the two ladies I do see occasionally when I go over there. She's basically on the fabric table only. But everybody that I've encountered here lately has been really good. Michael's. There are a couple of reasons I generally don't go into Michael's. First of all, their prices over here are not very comparable to Joann's or any place else that I shop for yarn. Their prices are ridiculous, to say the least. Their store layout is not scooter friendly. Their associates are not very friendly. They're very quiet. They always look like they're having the worst day of their lives. Go figure. I don't know. I went in one day. I sometimes suffer from hypoglycemia. And I went in one day just to get a candy bar. That's all I wanted. Just a candy bar to help get my blood sugar back up. And because I had some testing done that day which required me to fast. So blood sugar had dropped pretty low, and I go in just to get a candy bar, and I'm driving my scooter, and instantly the guy goes, "What? I have one candy bar, excuse me, card in hand, ready to pay. We don't even have to touch each other, dude. Do you have an email?" I wasn't even going to go through that with him. Yeah, I do, but no. Is there anything else? No. Brings it up, kind of shoves it across the counter. Do my card and everything. And he slams the receipt on top of it. Now, what I got was a Hershey's with almonds. It was a solid bar when I picked it up. By the time he slammed it, it was in pieces. That's the kind of stuff we deal with over here. It's crazy. It's the more you come in, the more they see you, the friendlier they become. But the places where I repeat is generally because I need to repeat there. If I went based on the very first encounter, it wouldn't happen again. It would not happen again. On Mercury Boulevard, we have two Popeyes. One here, that's another place that goes Newport News. Well, once you get out of Newport News, you're in Hampton, and it's Hampton all the way down to the end. But the one in Newport News, everybody was telling me you need to just be patient. It's a bunch of kids. They don't know how to talk to people, yada, yada, yada. And the one in Hampton, I was always recommended to go. It was always recommended to me to go there. I'd rather go where the kids are. I have had to cancel an online order 3 times from the Hampton Popeyes. One time I went, I had my grandson with me, and he didn't have on any shoes. And they were telling me, you have to come inside. No. The order was placed online. So all you have to do, I can show you my number. I can show you the receipt. Just give me my food. If all of those orders come through the POS and drive-through, then once I show you that my order has been confirmed and I show you the receipt, you can literally put this in on a front register. But then again, I'm not supposed to know this, right? You can put it in on the front register. You can pull out a receipt, and intend to pay receipt is what we used to call them at Burger King. And you can cancel that order out. So when the POS comes back up, you can compare these two, knowing that the food has already been paid for. So, like I said, I wasn't going to leave my grandson in the car, and I wasn't going to take him in barefooted. So there was another time that I went where I was having a health issue that I couldn't get out, which I went to the doctor that day. My doctor actually came out to the truck. Okay? So here again, you're telling me that I have to come in because you're short-staffed. No, and no again. And I forgot what happened the third time I went. And these, here again, knowing I had to go to the doctor, middle of the day, haven't had anything to eat, shoot right over here to Popeyes. It's got a drive-through. I can go ahead and get my food. And the other thing with Popeyes, they offer mac and cheese, and they shouldn't. They never have it. That's the same thing with the Bojangles over here. Oh, let me tell you about Bojangles. So I go to Bojangles. I place my order at the drive-through menu board. I drive around, and they tell me we don't have coleslaw. Okay. Because I ordered a side order of coleslaw. Okay. So do you want the order? Yeah, I'll take everything else. Just double my green beans. I ordered a 2-piece with 2 sides and a large sweet tea and a barbecue sandwich. I was planning on this being my meal for the day. You know, stretch it out over however long. First thing I see when I open the barbecue sandwich is probably a cup and a half of coleslaw. But you don't have coleslaw. Here's a whole order and some on top of my barbecue sandwich. So just to see, just to check, just to follow through. I drive back to the drive-thru and order another barbecue sandwich. Here again, an excessive amount of coleslaw. At which point I'm saying to myself, are you serious right now? Are you really serious right now? Which is another reason I stay inside. And I spend a lot of time in these 4 walls. Here's one more thing I wanted to share with you, and I will be sharing with you throughout the week. Please keep this in mind. And for those of you who don't know, that is my name. This is my novel. Published by Wider Perspectives. And I do have an ISBN. But yes, this is me. I am currently working on the sequel, so that's another reason I had to structure my time, because I found myself falling off on my writing, and I really need, that is something that I love so much. And as I'm doing other things throughout the house, I'm coming up with all these ideas as to where the couple in this book are going next, and how to segue between the first novel and the sequel, and whether I'm going to go beyond the sequel. You know, am I going to make it more like what do you call it, a set, or a series, you know. But I do need to get back into my writing. So this is why I'm taking up probably an hour of your Tuesday morning, well, afternoon now. It's morning to me. I didn't get up until 12:30. But I do know that I have to crochet today as well. So I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, as we've been here close to 46 minutes. So by the time so you know where I'm from. You know my plans for the channel. I do have to please remind you, please, anything that you can do to donate to the G.R.O.W Foundation, please. You will find my information in the description box below. They need washcloths, hats, scarves, scrunchies, ear warmers, baby blankets. I think that's pretty much what I have on my list. Yeah. And what we need is 500 washcloths. So it was 200 hats, 200 scrunchies, 50 baby blankets, 100 ear warmers, and 100 scarves. So please keep that in mind, and help them out as much as possible. If you want to donate directly to them, it is the G.R.O.W. Foundation, and they are based in Chesapeake, Virginia. The founder is Nisha Hines, who's also a very dynamic poet. She is phenomenal. She's also a surviving victim of domestic violence as well. There are a lot of people out here that need help. Their mission statement is to help victims of domestic violence through advocacy, education, and community collaboration. So anything that you can do to help, guys, please help. And with that, I will bid thee adieu. And like I tell you always, when you see that image in the mirror, please stop for just a millisecond and tell that image, which is a reflection of you, hey, I love you. And know from the bottom of my heart, from the pits of my soul, that I, Kitty Lane, love you too. You guys have a great day. I'll be back.